If your life was a movie, what would the audience be screaming at you to do when watching you? For years, on my side, my audience would have been yelling out loud, "Go there and just go and live!" Hi beautiful souls, welcome back on Lights of Dipa. I am Dipa, a transformational coach and energy healer. And in today's episode, I am going to talk about the mindset that changed my entire life. 2 years, 732 days, 25 countries alone. That is the number most people ask me about. But actually, no one asked me about the years before that number, the preparation before that number, before that solo backpacking, the years I went working hard on projects, sitting at my desk and sitting in my apartment, scrolling and watching other people achieving their dreams, achieving what they really wanted, while my life was all about making other people's dreams come true. Mine's would just go on the side. And I didn't grow up being told I could just live and go figure out a life I really wanted and live a life on my own terms. I was never told that. I grew up between cultures, between worlds, and with enough voices to tell me who I was supposed to be, and that I was too much, and what a woman like me was allowed to get, to ask, and to even want, and to receive, of course. So for a really long time, wanting more for myself felt something unattainable and felt so dangerous. And every single dream that I had, of course, would come with a side comment, such as, "Not yet, that's too much, you're dreaming too much, that's not reality, not alone, not like that, too dangerous, too risky, you're going to fail," all these. So I waited and waited and waited, and I told myself I would travel first when I would have the money, then when I would have the right people by my side. And of course, I was waiting to be ready. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go once I will be ready. As if readiness was a place I would eventually arrive at instead of something it had to be built by moving, by doing. There's something that nobody tells you about waiting to be ready, is the fact that it never protects you. It just costs you years. It costs you the days you are missing out on something you really want just because you think you're not ready, because you think you cannot do it. The thing that really changed my life was not a destination. It was not the first border I crossed by myself, or the first time I checked in a hostel by myself, not knowing anyone. It was smaller than this, and it happened before I even took the tickets for my solo trip. It was in the moment that I stopped asking, why is my life like this? Why is it happening to me? And I started asking the right questions, such as, one big question is, what am I going to do about the life that I have now? Right? What am I going to do about the life that I have right now? And it was in that moment that I decided that the right time was now, and that I was ready now. Because at some point, you will never be ready. You will never be ready. And you have to make the decision of being ready and to jump in for the thing you crave for. That's it. That's a whole shift. Because for so long, I was the main character in my own life who kept handing the pen to the others, and I got the plan back. I would just execute, but it was never for me. It was for others. Others' dreams, goals, aspirations, visions. And mine was just like falling, like it was dismissed. Doing that, at some point I was blaming the circumstances, blaming the culture, blaming the timing, blaming the money, blaming the country, blaming the other people's opinion of me. And the beautiful thing in that mindset is like, of course, every excuse felt reasonable. And that is why it was so dangerous. Because it was so easy to stay in that old mindset of blaming the culture, the circumstances, the money not there, the readiness not there. It was easy to stay small when the reasons just sounded like responsible, right? Sounded like the most answers people give you when you have big dreams like this. But underneath that, every excuse I had, there was actually a quiet truth I didn't want to look at. And the real truth behind all those excuses was the fear. I was scared as hell. And I wasn't scared of the world. I wasn't scared of like what it would mean to go after what I wanted and found out I was capable of getting it. Basically, like if I would go for that and fail or not get into that expectation, it was like, oh, I wouldn't have anyone anymore to blame on because that was my real decision. Like, and my life is mine and mine own to choose. My decisions are mine. So I was like, oh shit, I won't have anymore anyone to blame, anything else to blame anymore. So I took that decision consciously, with full awareness, full power. And then I finally booked that flight. I booked that one-way ticket to go to Panama. There was no plan. My soul was following what it was called to. The second I landed somewhere with no one to lean on but myself, something in me recalibrated, shifted fully. I was not waiting anymore to become someone who could handle her life. I was her. I just hadn't given the chance to be that person fully before. And every country taught me the same lesson in different language. You are always the one and only who gets to decide what happens next. It's not your past, it's not your family's expectations, it's not what others are going to tell or to say about what you're doing. It's not the parts of you that taught you to shrink. You are the only one to decide what you are doing with it. And it's not a travel lesson, it's a life lesson. It's a life lesson that travel happened to teach me also. It's a life lesson. And I always say life is the biggest journey you are on. And a lot of us are taught to see ourselves as characters things happen to. So we wait for the permission, we wait for the confidence, we wait for the right moment, we wait for the right person. And we call it patience. We wait to be ready. When actually what's behind it is the fear. But you don't need to feel ready. You need to feel responsible. You need to take that responsibility consciously. You need to be in that step of like, okay, now I am responsible for my own life, my one precious life here. I got one shot to live it instead of just existing, just doing, just surviving. And that responsibility is where your power lives completely. Being the leader of your own life doesn't mean being fearless. I was terrified more times than I can count, in airports, cities, where I didn't speak the language, in the taxis, on my walk back to the place where I was staying, in moments where I would question everything. And being a badass, being the leader of your life, is never about the absence of fear. It is all about moving anyway. It is all about feeling the fear fully and do it. And just do it. To let the moving itself answer the question that overthinking never could. So if you take one thing from my story, let it be this. You do not have to have it all figured out to start. You do not have to be ready to start. You just have to stop waiting for someone else to hand you the key to your own life. You get one life. You get many days and many moments where you decide what you are doing with what is happening now. Every single day you spend waiting for permission, for that readiness, for the next step, for the person, for the right job, for the title, all this. Every single day that you wait is a day where you already drop your power and give your power to the others. This is days where you lost your power. These are days where you could have the power to live it fully. So I just want you to think about that and ask yourself the question and to answer to it honestly for yourself. Are you the leader of your own story? Are you the leader of your own life, or are you still waiting for someone else to write it for you? Or are you maybe writing the story of someone else, the dream of someone else? And also let us know in the comments, where are you on that mindset? Are you still waiting to be ready to fully live? I really hope that this video gave you that push. If you like that video, hit the subscribe button, comment, let us know where you guys are tuning in from, and when you hit the subscribe button, put the notifications on so that you don't miss any amazing content from Lights of Dipa. And also share the love and light, because the more love and light we share, the more we receive. I see you in the next episode going out on Monday, because new episodes are out here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturday. Until then, you take care, guys. I send you love and light. See you soon.